Welcome back everyone to another episode of ShadeTV. My name is Marissa Hill and today we'll be discussing the Air Jordan 2 women's exclusive, and these are known as the UNC to Chicago. Let's take a quick sneak peek. Welcome back everyone to another unboxing and review. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Today we'll be discussing a woman's exclusive. These are the Air Jordan 2 lows, and these are known as the UNC to Chicago. So we'll go through the overview of these, jump into size and fit, followed by how I style this classy colorway. Then we'll conclude with how these are currently doing on the resale market. So let's jump right into it. I feel like people have been phasing subtly off the 2s, maybe because of how comfortable they are or how uncomfortable they are, not quite sure, but Jordan Brand has definitely been pumping a lot of different colorways out left and right. This again was a woman's exclusive, so this only came in women's sizing. As far as the color scheme goes, it's quite simplified. So the entirety of the upper is in a clean, classy white tone with some tumbled leather. Definitely a bit more flexible on the toe box in comparison to some of the leather that I do have on other 2s. So I do love the fact that they decided to go with a more malleable leather on the front of the toe box here. We have simple white laces currently tied on there, but you do have 2 additional laces that you can swap out. So you've got red or you have the UNC blue. Up to you which way you want to go. I do think that the white keeps it a little bit more clean, but if you do want to add a little bit more color since it is pretty plain, feel free to do that as well. As we work our way up the tongue, we do have the Wings logo here in white, as well as the outline in that Chicago red. Let's take a look at those details, then move along to the side paneling. All right, so wrapping around to the side paneling, this is where you're getting a good majority of your color. So we've got the Chicago red color scheme here, which is very subtle on top of that tumbled white leather. As we work our way to the back, this is really where you're getting most of that UNC colorway on the heel. You're also going to see a bit more pops of that blue tone on the insole as well as the red. And then as we wrap around to the lateral side, again, just more of that white tumbled leather and hits of that red accent. The sneaker is completed with this off-white midsole and a little bit of the bottom portion of that heel. And then we've got the red, blue, and off-white colorway for the outsole. Let's take a look at those last and final details. far as size and fit goes, again, this was a woman's exclusive. I went true to size just because typically when I am in the woman's size range, I feel like true to size seems to be the right direction to go. But on these, I would say they definitely run on the smaller side of things, and the size 9 that I went with is just too small. So definitely at least go half a size up on these. All right, so now let's talk about how I styled this color scheme. For the first look, I wanted to keep this pretty classy, so I decided to go with these wide width pants in a khaki tone. And then for the top, I decided to go with this button down top that's kind of a bustier top, which is in a nice, just kind of upscale material to give it a very nice upscale feel. For this look, I decided to wear this really long kind of maxi sleeveless dress in this kind of orangish red tone. Doesn't match the red exactly, but I still think it complements the sneaker perfectly. And then I layered it with this button down kind of denim textured shirt and more of like an eggshell kind of color to go off of this aged midsole. This look, I wanted to really match the colorway of the sneaker. So I wanted to bring some blue accents and red accents with white. So I decided to go with this cropped button-up blazer. And underneath, I wore this button-down collared shirt in red and white stripes. And then I wore some shorts to match the cropped blazer.
I loved you in denial. Shouldn't have left receipts, now I got you on fire. Shit might get released when you walk down the aisle. Expose who you are beneath that fake ass smile. A couple songs about you when I told the truth through and through. Never name drop, you guilty if you assume it's you. From laying under covers to staying under your skin. I know exactly what it was, fuck what it is. Stay thinking out loud and think about how the vibe changed quicker than 1,000,000 miles an hour. I felt bad for whatever I said, but whatever's dead, I hope I see you never again. Could've been me in the suit, but you had your cake and you eating it too. Fuck, you never thought you'd go back on your word. Broken promises.
Now let's conclude with how these are doing on the resale market. So these are typically retailed at $150, and right now, if you are looking for a deal, I'm always about deals. This is honestly the time to buy these on the resale market because these are going between $85 to $90. Of course, that's gonna kind of range between what size you are, but a majority of sizes, specifically women's sizes, on the lower end are pretty affordable right now. The larger sizes, a little bit closer to that retail price point, but definitely snag a pair if you can find these for around that $85 price point. That's a steal. All right, everyone, that is it for this unboxing and review. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Marissa Hill. This is ShadeTV. We'll catch you on the next episode.